And we've talked about it so many times before, right? The struggles of buying a home. We've covered it extensively, from low inventory to high interest rates. But also right now, there's another danger lurking in the shadows, and that's wire fraud.
And the process of buying a home can be so stressful. It's easy to fall victim to something like this. And it's a growing and very devastating reality for people across the country and in West Michigan. When Stacy Robach shows a home, it's no longer just about layout and aesthetics.
I'm a pretty hands-on realtor.
She leaves no faucet unturned. With low inventory and high interest rates, finding a perfect home for her buyer is as hard as it's ever been. Her clients will often waive inspections to sweeten an offer, which means showings these days aren't limited to how it looks.
We even do an exterior walk that isn't just, oh, look at this pretty lot. It's, let's look at the siding, let's look at the foundation.
But one thing even an inspection wouldn't just put a wrench in the buying process, it can ruin lives.
There's something bad out here that could affect your life savings, and your life savings could be gone within a matter of seconds. And it's real estate wire fraud.
Tom Cronkite, the CEO of Sun Title in Grand Rapids, combats it every day. At the bottom of every one of his email communications, he has a wire fraud warning. Stacy has her clients sign a warning document before even writing up a purchase agreement. It works through a tactic the FBI calls business email compromise. A scammer posing as a title company can use what looks on the surface like a legitimate email just to get you comfortable with using them.
And then right at the right time, if it's a buyer, they'll impersonate the title company for the sole purpose of redirecting that wire into the fraudster's hands. And when I say it's prevalent, you're talking about hundreds of millions, if not $1 billion a year getting lifted out of the real estate sector every single year.
And the scammer, in a sophisticated process, can create synthetic identities of all parties involved, from the buyer, title agency, to the realtor. The average loss they're seeing with rising prices is at $350,000.
We've had some very dark and challenging conversations with victims because you feel, and I felt that way, you feel violated, you feel ashamed, you feel like you did something wrong.
Tom has felt that pain personally. In 2015, they were in the process of closing on the sale of a gas station. They deposited the buyer's check and wired the funds to who they thought were the sellers.
We lost nearly $200,000 out of this office to a wire fraud scam.
And while Tom's business survived and even testified against a global cybercrime syndicate, a first-time home buyer may not ever recover, which is why Tom and real estate agents like Stacy take that threat so seriously.
If you're not informed initially and you are oblivious to the potential, then odds are that you could be a victim of this. That's why knowing about it ahead of time is of the utmost importance.
Now, Tom with Sun Title tells me wire fraud real estate is just a bullseye for fraudsters. And because of his personal story and experience with it and prevalence of wire fraud in general, he's the co-founder of a program called Certified, which is a leading technology defending against real estate wire fraud. And it confirms identities of those involved, and it securely transmits wiring instructions. And it's pretty popular, too. It's used in about 10% of transactions nationally. We have a link to that in this web article. But there are also things to look out for to help protect yourself. You can look for emails that look like they're from your title agency, but maybe it has a Gmail domain name. That can be a big red flag. Maybe it has a dash or numbers. That throws it off just a little bit. Never send funds without verifying the source of where those requests for transfers come from. Never receive wiring instructions through email. Don't receive it through text messages. Even don't take it through overnight mail, because some of the scammers will use FedEx. Don't give in to pressure tactics as well. Sometimes scammers will threaten the loss of the transaction.